Hi guys, Mac here from Mac Media Presents, and today I want to try my hand at something a little bit different. Before I start, I will just quickly mention that if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell to be notified, and be sure to comment below any ideas for future videos. I am always open to hearing suggestions. Just a heads up as well, this is going to be a bit of a long one. It's going to be split into two videos, one focusing on one side of it and one focusing on another. I'll get into it a little bit more once I start to describe the video. So anyway, you might also hear a bit of a tumble dryer in the back. That's just because the dryer's on, so I can't really help that. So anyway, let's just get straight into this. So today's video is related to the recent entry in the iconic series Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And more precisely, the video is going to be about my ideas, my thoughts, and personal hopes for how Nintendo could support the game through the Switch's entire lifespan with multiple different pieces of content. You know, I always see videos talking about leaks and talking about theories and stuff like that, and I honestly haven't seen anyone talk about the possibility of how Nintendo could support it all the way through the lifespan, so I figured I'd give that a go. Now, I'm recording this and I've put all this together after the recent 3.0 update video dropped, and obviously 3.0 is out now, which contains Joker from Persona 5, which is what got me stoked and wanting to do the video and really built up my hype and really made me think about the possible future. I should reiterate a few points right now. First and foremost, these are not confirmed characters or, anything for the actual game. This is just my personal hopes, my opinions, my ideas, and predictions for what I think could possibly happen should this game be supported all the way through to the end of the Switch's life cycle, rather than getting a new Smash Bros. Game. In addition as well, it should also be noted that Sakurai did state that, in particular, this bit of information I'm about to give is more related to what this video is about. So, Sakurai did officially state in the final Smash Bros. Direct, before Ultimate came out, that Echo Fighters of current fighters will not be included in the Fighter Pass. Now, this whole video may be considered a personal hope of mine, but I'm hoping this could potentially mean we could maybe see some free Echo Fighters through future updates. I know it seems like I'm asking a bit too much, and in all honesty, if no Echo Fighters got in through free updates, I'd be happy all the same. It's a great game altogether. I'm just basically giving ideas out. So with that in mind, I wanted to talk about how I think Smash Bros. Could be supported with free content. So this is via like updates and stuff like that, going into the future up until the end of the Switch's lifespan. Basically when Nintendo released their next-gen console. If they release a next-gen console, that is. The second video, which I'm going to put up, will focus more on the paid downloadable content aspect of it. So, for a start, I want to start talking about Echo Fighters. So, with Echo Fighters, I feel like there is still a lot of potential. I mean, obviously, they did reveal it. They included a few interesting fighters. Obviously, we got Ken from Street Fighter. We got Richter from Castlevania. Dark Samus finally made it in as Samus's. We obviously got Chrom. I feel like there is still potential there, though, for different characters. So, in terms of characters, I feel we could see, the characters I personally feel we could see join as Echo Fighters are, Funky Kong, Dixie as a Echo for Diddy Kong. I mean, yeah, sorry, I'll start again. So I feel that we could potentially see Funky Kong join as an Echo for Donkey Kong. I feel we could see Dixie Kong join as an Echo for Diddy. I feel we could see Ninten for Ness, Black Shadow for Captain Falcon, Impa for Sheik, Bandana Waddle Dee for Meta Knight, Ms. Pac-Man for Pac-Man, Edelgard for Robin, John, I think that's how she's pronounced, I'm not sure, I've never played Bayonetta, but John for Bayonetta, the Octoling for Splatoon, and most importantly, this is the one I think is a big out there choice, but I still think it could be possible, Sephiroth for Cloud. So, my reasoning for why I think we could possibly see some of these characters. So, I feel that, in terms of Donkey Kong characters, I feel Funky and Dixie are pretty much the only two characters left, really, that would be suitable to be fighters in Super Smash Bros. I mean, you could also argue that Cranky could be potentially there, but I feel like Dixie and Funky would be more appropriate. I mean, recently Funky has been getting a lot more love. Nintendo really have been trying to push the character. Obviously, they created an entire mode around Funky Kong in the Switch port of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. And Dixie's a character they've tried to put into Smash Bros. Now for a long time. Like, I mean, I believe at one point she was even in one of the games, but she got cut. I know originally, obviously, Diddy and Dixie were supposed to sort of be like a combo pair similar to the Ice Climbers, but I feel like you could easily implement Dixie as an Echo fighter for Diddy. If she's not gonna, like, I should reiterate, I did originally, when I typed this all up originally, I did sort of have an idea of having Dixie as maybe a single fighter and potential paid DLC in the future. But then Update 3.0 dropped, and obviously we got a lot of new information revealing, obviously, with Joker came some Persona Spirits, and so new spirits were going to get added with each new character. And I feel there's obviously there's loads of spirits out there for Donkey Kong. A YouTuber who normally comments on Smash Brothers content, his name is BillyBo10K, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Definitely check out his channel, by the way. He has some amazing content. He's doing a Minecraft series at the moment. He is also doing Rate Their Chances, where he rates the chances of Smash Brothers potential DLC. But he mentioned something in his sort of review of Update 3.0's reveal trailer, in that it pretty much deconfirms spirits coming in as potential DLC fighters. But at the same time, I feel maybe, just maybe, they may still do free Echo fighters. This is just so they can at least include them, because I feel Dixie's a character that a lot of people have been asking for a long time. Obviously, like I said, this is just my personal opinions, but we'll see. So, anyway, moving on. So, my reasoning for the other characters, though. With Ninten, I feel the reason Ninten should get in is because he rounds out the Earthbound protagonists represented in Smash. Obviously, we got Ness in Smash 64, we got Lucas in Smash Bros. Brawl. Ness obviously represents Earthbound or Mother 2, and Lucas represents Mother 3, which of course hasn't released over here yet, or in America. I feel that Ninten could fit the role of an Echo for Ness perfectly, rather than a fully fledged fighter. I mean, I don't really see how they could do anything with Ness as a fledged fight. I mean, not Ness, Ninten as a fully fledged fighter for paid DLC. Plus, I feel Earthbound Beginnings came out, so it's not like Ninten is relatively unknown. So, Ninten could be possible. I feel Black Shadow is needed. Black Shadow is needed purely because it would finally give F-Zero another rep. As of right now, from the original lineup, obviously from Smash 64, Captain Falcon and Yoshi are the only two without another series rep as of right now. I also just want to quickly mention, if you hear snoring in the background, that's my dog. He's just he's a little tired at the moment. So yeah, if the mic picks that up, I am very sorry about that. But yeah, the reason I think Black Shadow would make a good rep is because obviously he's another antagonist, which fills yet another sort of market that Nintendo have kind of been trying to go with Smash Bros. Ultimate. You know, obviously we got King K. Rool for Donkey Kong, we got Ridley for Metroid. I'd say Black Shadow could be another good one. Also, given the fact he's Captain Falcon's rival, it kind of makes him a good Echo. Like, it will give him a good, like, role as an Echo fighter. I really did try to think about who could potentially be included as an Echo fighter for the Legend of Zelda series. Only one that came to mind was Impa. Primary reason is she is a member of the Sheikah clan, which could put her in great contention to be a Sheik Echo fighter. Obviously, you know, if she is a part of the Sheikah clan, she could potentially know a similar moveset to Sheik. I mean, she could have maybe a few extra moves or something based off her appearance in Hyrule Warriors. I will admit, for the most part, with some characters, I may not be given a decent description purely because I haven't played the games. I mean, I have played Zelda, I love Zelda, but I don't think I've played any of the ones involving Impa. Or at least, if I have played some of the games, I probably haven't reached up to where Impa is. So, I do apologise, Zelda fans, please don't hurt me. The reason I see her being the only Zelda character that could potentially get in this time is primarily because Skull Kid unfortunately got deconfirmed. Obviously, he returned as an assist trophy, and a lot of people were kind of pegging that Skull Kid was going to be in this one. So, Bandana Waddle Dee, I feel, could be included as an Echo for Meta Knight. I feel that he might not be up to the level to be included as a fully fledged, like, paid DLC character. But I do also feel that Sakurai may want to include him, purely to round out the playable character selection from Kirby Return to Dreamland in Smash Bros. Obviously, Bandana Waddle Dee is, of course, a popular character among the Kirby fanbase. You know, he could be pretty simple to do as well. I mean, obviously, you may have to figure out how to do away with Meta Knight's wing attacks, but you could easily replace Meta Knight's sword with a spear and have a similar sort of moveset. Miss Pac-Man. So, I feel Miss Pac-Man is an obvious Echo fighter. And in all fairness, honest to God, I am surprised that she wasn't even included in Smash Ultimate. I mean, when I first heard about the concept of Echo Fighters, I immediately thought, Miss Pac-Man has to be in there. Miss Pac-Man has a great chance. And I mean, she didn't even appear as an alternate costume, so... I do feel like Miss Pac-Man could have a chance. Obviously, this is, of course, if they decide to include 3 Echo Fighters. We don't know what else they could include. Now, Edelgard is one that I do feel could be included. I feel she could be included as an Echo Fighter for Robin, since, and this is where I may be grasping at straws, primarily because I'm not quite familiar with the Fire Emblem series. As far as I'm aware, both, like, not only is her game based around education, which, of course, as far as I'm aware, Robin is a scholar. At least that's what I'm guessing by the fact he has books and tomes and stuff. But also, Nintendo's more than likely going to want to promote and continue to support Fire Emblem Three Houses in the long run. And I feel like, out of all of the characters, I feel like Edelgard's kind of been the most popularly received of the three protagonists. I do feel that potentially they could change up the moveset for the final. I mean, obviously for the final smash. Obviously in Robin's final smash, he gets assistance from Chrom. Maybe with Edelgard, they could do a final smash where she gets assistance from the other two houses. I mean, that's just an idea that could be sort of floated out around there. I also feel that John, once again, I am very sorry if I'm not pronouncing this right. Like I said, I'm not familiar with Bayonetta too much. I feel like she could also make a good echo for Bayonetta, and another one that I am surprised didn't get in. I mean, at the very least, Bayonetta did get a colour swap, but I am surprised that she didn't get in as an echo fighter. I feel that she could have a better chance since they'll more than likely want to push Bayonetta 3. Which, of course, as we know at the moment, doesn't currently have a release date. I mean, E3 could change that, but as of right now, as of recording, we do not know. Another one that I am surprised didn't get included was the Octoling. Now, the Octoling, I mean, obviously they've only just introduced the Inkling into this Smash game, but they have also been pushing the Octoling stuff quite a bit. You know what I mean? Obviously, they had the recent Octoling expansion for Splatoon 2, which was literally revealed, I think, about 5 minutes before they revealed Smash Brothers. So, in many ways, it does kind of make sense that the Octoling wouldn't be included in the base game, because obviously the characters were decided well before. But it might not stop them from getting in as an Echo Fighter for free. I don't think they could fit the potential for, you know, a fully paid DLC moveset. Of course, as well, another reason why Nintendo may want to push it is because Splatoon has become one of their big signature flagship franchises, especially in the new generations. Obviously, Splatoon 2's got a great multiplayer scene at the moment, and there's a lot of support, a lot of fan base supporting Splatoon. So I don't think Splatoon's going to be going anywhere in the long run. But finally, to round out the Echo Fighters, I had to include this. This is obviously a personal hope. I think a lot of people also may kind of want this character in there as well. But I feel like including him as an Echo Fighter will be able to free up another space for a different Square Enix rep, which of course I'll get into in the next video. But I feel that Sephiroth should come in as an Echo Fighter for Cloud. He's probably going to be one of the more popular choices, but and normally I would suggest him as a standalone fighter, but as of this point I can't really think of any. I mean, I know there's loads of stages that could potentially happen from Final Fantasy VII, but I just, honest to God, I can't think of anything for Sephiroth. I feel that, plus, like I said, I feel that Square would rather represent different franchises from their standpoint. I feel including Sephiroth could be the best move they could make, because obviously it would give Cloud a rival, which, which could be nice to get another Final Fantasy rep in there. Like Cloud, you could have Sephiroth's base outfit, and then have his Advent Children sort of outfit. And more importantly, and this is the main thing, and I'm not even joking, this is the reason I want him in. I want new music from Final Fantasy VII. I really want some new music from Final Fantasy VII in there. 2 tracks is not enough. It's not enough. Plus, I feel that Square could potentially be more cooperative if they included Sephiroth as an Echo Fighter, primarily because Final Fantasy VII is, of course, now on the Nintendo Switch, and I feel that the inclusion could promote the game, which I mean, to be fair, nearly everyone and their mum has heard of Final Fantasy VII. I mean, come on, it's not exactly a hidden gem, is it? But still, I feel Square Enix would probably want to push that game and still try to sell as many copies as they can. And I feel it would also be because they're trying to build up hype, obviously, towards the Final Fantasy VII remake, if it ever happens. But still, though, I feel that in terms of music choices, and this is just me being hopeful, I feel music choices that they could add with Sephiroth, alongside Sephiroth, if he got included as an Echo Fighter, will be One Winged Angel, which, I mean, come on. If you include Sephiroth in the game, it's obvious. You have to have One Winged Angel. It's his theme. It's his literal... Like, it's pretty much his battle theme. You could have Genova, which is another great track from Final Fantasy VII. You could have the music that plays during the motorcycle section. I think it's called Crazy Motorcycle Chase. You could have the bombing mission. And if you really want to include music from other Final Fantasy games, maybe the other ones represented on the Nintendo Switch, you could always maybe even include another track from a different Final Fantasy game. My personal hope, or my personal choice, would go to Otherworld from Final Fantasy X. I feel like that has the potential to make a great track. But I want to round out Echo Fighters with Sephiroth. Next thing I want to move on to is potential stages. Now, I feel we could maybe get some new stages. Echo Fighters are less likely. I just wanted to talk about that as a possibility. But I do feel like stages could definitely be represented some more. I feel like we could get a few more stages for free. So, the stages I feel that should be in, and I'm going to sort of describe them as I go through. So, started off, I feel like we should get a Poker Floats too. It's one that a lot of people have been asking for. It is, of course, a fan favourite from Super Smash Bros. Melee, the original Poké Floats, that is. And I feel like if you're going to include it in Ultimate, maybe give it a few little upgrades. You know, like I said, call it Poké Floats 2. But you could include, like, new floats of different Pokemon. I mean, you could include Pokemon from across all generations. You know what I mean? The sky is limitless. I mean, you could even include some Pokemon from Sword and Shield to promote Sword and Shield. I feel like Studiopolis Zone from Sonic Mania should be included. Mainly because I want to see Sonic Mania get some more representation in there. Obviously, you know, we got some Sonic Mania music from Studiopolis Zone. So why not just give it the stage? I mean, granted, I know we have got a few Sonic stages in there, but as a big Sonic the Hedgehog fan, me having a personal bias towards it, I personally feel I'd like to see more Sonic. I feel like the Gourmet Province from Xenoblade 2 could be a good one. Xenoblade does need a new stage. I've seen a lot of people talk about this. I feel like maybe including one from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, give it some love. That could be, that could be appreciated. I mean, obviously they wanted to include Rex originally, but the character cutoff was, it prevented him from getting in. I also feel that maybe Pyra could be included as a DLC costume. Obviously that would have to be paid for, which I'll talk about in the next video. But yeah, I feel like Xenoblade 2 needs a bit more love. And obviously we know Sakurai likes Xenoblade 2, so it could be possible. I feel like Donkey Kong needed a new stage, and I feel like Gangplank Galleon would be the perfect one. If I'm being quite honest, I am honestly surprised that it didn't make it in with King K. Rool. I thought that would have been Gangplank Galleon's best shot at actually getting a stage in the game. Obviously it didn't happen, but I mean, who knows? There's plenty of time if they support it through the lifespan. I'm trying to think of what else it could be. Nintendo Land. I mean, obviously Nintendo Land, yeah, it was a party game, but still, you could include you could include it as a nice throwback to the Wii U sort of era. Um, I feel like having sort of like a meta sort of representation of all the different franchises could be fun. It could be really fun. Um, Bowser's Castle, another one I'm honest to God surprised that hasn't been adapted into a Smash stage yet. I have seen a lot of people creating that stage through the stage creator. Um, I feel it would be nice just to see maybe Nintendo give it a bit more love, though. Maybe Nintendo give it some thought and give it the Smash Brothers treatment. Um, Excite Bike Arena. Now, when Smash was on its way out, like Smash Ultimate, there was a lot of rumours going around. I mean, obviously there was the infamous Grinch leak as well. And there was a lot of rumours suggesting that there could be an Excite Biker or Mach Rider making it into the roster for this game. And I'll be honest, I don't see how an Excite Biker could have a moveset. I mean, maybe Sakurai could figure it out at some point because, Sakurai is God and we should never question him. But at the very least, I do feel like we should at least get a stage. Excite Bike was one of the big games of the NES era, and I think it'll be a nice way to sort of like peer reference to the NES era while not particularly representing them with a character. Central Highway from Mega Man X. Now, I feel it could be interesting to see a Mega Man X themed stage. I'm surprised we haven't. I'm surprised we've still only got Wily Castle. But, we did get Zero as an assist. X does appear in Mega Man's Final Smash. Mega Man X has not only had its compilation collections release on the Switch, but Mega Man X was also included in the SNES Mini that came out a little while back. So Mega Man X does have a lot of love on the Nintendo franchises. I mean, not on the Nintendo franchise, on Nintendo consoles. I think it could be nice to see a stage for Mega Man X, or at the very least, maybe a free costume of Mega Man X for Mega Man. That would be nice. I will mention that while I may mention the odd costume that I think could be cool for a certain character, I've not included any of them in any of the videos, purely because trying to think of costume possibilities is endless, and it could take a lot of time, and I'm not going to waste my time with that. I mean, if these videos do well, I may attempt it at some point, but we'll see. Pac-Man. Now, I'm going to be honest, this is one of the few cut stages from Smash Brothers that genuinely annoyed me. I mean, they included a Pac-Man stage, I think it was like a Pac Village or something like that, or some sort of weird... I don't know, like, only thing I can sort of relate it to is like a CDI type of stage. And it was ugly, it was horrible, it was just terrible. Whereas I feel like the Pac-Maze represents Pac-Man. I mean, come on, if you mention... I mean, I think it was from Pac-Man Land or Pac-Man World or something, the stage that got in. But when you think of Pac-Man, or when you mention Pac-Man to anyone who's not a gamer, the first thing that will pop into their mind is that little yellow pug going around that maze, collecting pellets, avoiding ghosts. And I feel like that is what needed to be used as the stage for Pac-Man. It's an obvious homage to, the original arcade game, Pac-Man's heritage. And I feel it's imperative that it's included. Oh, Jesus Christ. This was another one I put down, but I swear to God, I have a good chance of screwing this up or mispronouncing this. So I am very terribly sorry if I do. The Gorik Mak Monastery. Primarily because, once again, like Edelgard, Fire Emblem Three Houses is coming out. And I feel like to at least promote the game, Nintendo is probably going to include maybe a stage at some point. I mean, Obviously, I'm hoping we can get Edelgard maybe as an Echo Fighter for free, but at the very least, I'd like to at least see a stage for free houses. Because it is a big game that they're pushing, and it's a huge part of their upcoming lineup. Maybe even the island from Link's Awakening, I'm not sure. But I'm just mentioning that offhand because it's something that I didn't originally think of. I've literally just thought of that on the spot. Next one I'd like to talk about is Rhythm Heaven. Now, Rhythm Heaven is a series they've tried to implement a few times. I believe they tried to get the Chorus Kids in a few times, but the Chorus Kids kept getting cut. I'm sorry about my stuttering. I'm a bit lost for words, to be honest. I don't know why. It always happens when I'm recording. I always seem to like mess up or stumble or stutter. And in all honesty, I'm just not good with technology, so I don't cut it out. But yeah, since the game doesn't feature a challenger though, and they seem to be having so much trouble including a challenger, maybe at the very least just include a stage. You know, you could always have it a bit similar to WarioWare. You know, like the WarioWare stage where you do loads of little mini games. Maybe include that. You just do a few little mini games based on Rhythm Heaven, based on the different characters. You could have the Chorus Kids show up. You could have Karate Joe. I believe that's his name. Once again, not very familiar with Rhythm Heaven, so don't roast me. I feel Misshalt. I think that's how it's pronounced. Now, if you haven't heard of Misshalt, it's I believe it's the world from Dragalia Lost. Now, Dragalia Lost is one of Nintendo's big new IPs, and it represents another part of the market which Smash Bros. Does not represent at the moment, which is, of course, the mobile market. I feel like Nintendo really are trying to get into the mobile market, and they're really trying to push this mobile market on people. But they're doing it subtly, so they're not doing it where they're quite, shoving it in your face, but they're more doing it subtly, like, oh yeah, we have this new game out on mobile. I feel including a stage based off Dragalia Lost could be a perfect way to not only advertise the game to get new people into the player base, but it also adds yet another new franchise as well. Next up, Box World. So, obviously Box Boy is getting a new game on the Switch, Box Boy and Box Girl. So, why not include a stage that involves puzzles and, jumping onto the growing Box Boy or Box Girl or QB, having to jump on them as sort of like platforms to avoid different puzzles and different hazards in the stage. I feel that could be good. It could add something a bit fresh. Yokai World. So I feel like Yokai Watch should get a stage at least. It was a big franchise on the 3DS, I believe. I'll admit I never played Yokai Watch. I always thought it looked very similar to Pokemon, but, less good. Sorry, Yokai fans, but that's a personal opinion, and, I've been a Pokemon fan for life, so sorry. But I believe a Spirit at least got in. I do think there was at least a Spirit for Yokai Watch. So it does show that it was on Sakurai's radar. Maybe, include a stage so you can include more of the monsters. It's an idea. Now, this one is probably my most out there choice. And I have a good reason for it, and a good reason, for why I think it could be there. And a good reason for why I definitely think it won't be there. The stage I'm talking about is Castle Wolfenstein. Now, Wolfenstein is an iconic series. You can't say it otherwise. Wolfenstein with Doom was one of the big representatives of the first-person shooter genre in the early days of gaming. In addition as well, Wolfenstein has had some history on Nintendo, and they have also had, they've got 2 games on the Switch. Obviously we had Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus release, pretty early on the Switch's lifespan. And we also are getting Wolfenstein Youngblood, the latest game in the series. That comes in July. So, in addition as well, Wolfenstein, like I said, is huge in pop culture. Castle Wolfenstein could make for a very interesting stage, easily. You could include some stage hazards with, like, the Panzerhunds. You could include other potential stage bosses. Now, my reasoning, though, for why I feel Castle Wolfenstein will never, and I mean never, make it into Smash Brothers, is because of the imagery. Now, anyone who's played a Wolfenstein game will probably already know that Wolfenstein is about a soldier who goes around killing Nazis. It is set in, of course, like Nazi-occupied territories. And so, more than likely, if you were to include Castle Wolfenstein, there will probably be banners around with swastikas on. And this is why I feel like it will not happen. Because the use of a swastika may require an age rating to rise. And I don't think that will ever happen, not with Smash Brothers. At the max, Smash Brothers is going to be restricted to 12 only. In addition as well, it could also potentially lead to the game being banned in certain countries. Or at the very least excluded from certain countries. And I feel like restricting content from countries could be a big no-no as well. So that's my big reason why I think Castle Wolfenstein would not get in, but at the same time, why I feel it could be a very interesting stage. And finally, to round out the stages, and you're gonna hate me, like, you guys are gonna hate me for this, but it needs to be mentioned. I'm very sorry. The Battle Bus. Now, given it literally is the biggest game around at the moment, not my personal opinion, I have played Fortnite, but I'm not the biggest fan. It's alright, it's a good game, it's just, I think it's a bit overhyped. I don't get the whole joy of it. But it is a fact that it is the biggest game at the moment. I mean, it's probably the most streamed game, easily. Fortnite should, at the very least, get a stage. And I feel like the best option that they could do for the battle Fortnite would be the Battle Bus. I think it could make for a more interesting stage rather than just having, just random tower or random place. What you could do is you could have the sky. It could sort of be a traveling stage. You could include it a bit like Skyloft or New Donk City, where you stand on the battle bus, you fight on top of the battle bus, and it goes to different locations across the Fortnite map. It could go to places such as Tilted Towers or Risky Rails, or somewhere else. I'm not sure. I haven't played Fortnite in months. But it's an idea. You could include that. Obviously, when you get to a certain place, the battle bus could maybe, it could sort of like drop you off or parachute you down. Then you could fight there for a little bit. The battle bus comes and picks you up, launches you into the air again. It would kind of be a bit like a respawn type of thing. And then as the match closes, or the match gets closer to an end, you could have it sort of like where it's sort of like the Battle Royale mode of Fortnite, where you have the storm ice shrinking in, so it's kind of like sudden death in a way, where if you're outside of a certain area, you'll start building up a percentage damage. The more I think about that, that's actually a really, really good idea. In addition as well, I feel like the inclusion of a Fortnite stage could be good from a marketing perspective, because it'll bring a lot of people into it. People can't seem to get enough of Fortnite, especially kids and streamers. So it could bring a lot of new players into Smash from the Fortnite fanbase, or it could revive people's interest in Smash who have instead went off to play Fortnite. So, finally, to round things out, I feel like there should also be some free content in terms of mods. I believe other mods that were removed should return or will return. Mods I'm personally hoping for a home run contest. Break the targets, specifically the character-specific targets, like in Melee. Because I feel that really challenged a player to sort of learn the moveset of the character and to really learn how to maneuver around a battlefield. Race to the finish, purely because that was so fun. Smash Run from the 3DS Smash 4. And potentially even the event mode. I do feel, however, that the Spirits have got that section covered, but I think it could be nice to see maybe like some sort of little scenario things. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else to include via modes and stuff. I mean, obviously Stage Creator was a huge one. I would have said trophies, but Spirits have that covered as well, so there's no real need for it. But yeah, overall, that's really all I can think of in terms of free content. I mean, maybe some free music tracks as well, like the odd music track. That could be nice. Obviously, I know that it could require a lot of, deals and stuff like that, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's my thoughts on what I think could be included for free content via an update. Or via updates, should Nintendo continue to support this through to the end of the Switch's lifespan. Next video is, I'm recording the next video straight after this, so hopefully these videos should be up very soon. I will include a link to, I'll include a link to the second video once they're both uploaded, because I'm going to include a link to this one in the second video, so, But yeah, if you like the video though, guys, remember to hit like, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified. Be sure to let me know in the comments section below what you think of my thoughts, any content you'd like to see done, and just any general ideas you have, what do you think they could add as free content? But, yeah, so that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.